What really happened in that sudden live broadcast? Why is Taehyung's name called repeatedly with a shaking tone? What did Jungkook mean by revealing the secret now, and why did Hybe suddenly react so violently? Is this the beginning of the rupture of a bond that has been considered unshakable so far? The army is now faced with a reality they never imagined, and no one expected that this seemingly ordinary evening would be the beginning of a storm that shook the foundations of BTS themselves. Jungkook, the golden magne who has been known for his warm attitude, suddenly opened the live broadcast without notice, without a schedule, without an introduction. With just one opening sentence, "Everything changed. I'm sorry, but I can't shut up anymore." The question is, shut up about what? What exactly did Jungkook save all this time, and why was Taehyung's name first mentioned? Less than 2 minutes after the broadcast began, Jungkook's facial expression changed dramatically. He seemed to be holding something back. Is that emotion? Pressure? Or the truth that has long settled behind the camera's spotlight? The mood deepened as Jungkook looked at the camera with sharp but gentle eyes, then continued. "You have a right to know, and if this has to change everything, then it does." The words were like a storm that had just rolled from his lips. And in less than a minute, the word Taehyung came out, followed by something that many armies have not even been able to accept until this very second. Jungkook didn't say much, but it's pretty obvious to anyone who's followed them. There's something big, a secret that's been locked up, and it just opened up in front of millions of eyes. What does Jungkook really mean? No one knows for sure yet. But what made things even crazier was the fact that not long after the broadcast aired, about 15 minutes before this article was written, Hybe immediately deleted the live recording and released a short statement that actually added to the embers. The content does not comply with the company's internal policies. We will follow up internally. A sentence that sounds like a cold warning, even a threat. The question is, who are they warning? Jungkook? Army? Or Taehyung? The live broadcast is only 7 minutes long. But the impact? More than 7 years of memories can change just because of those sentences full of emotion. Some armies speculated that this was not simply a communications glitch. It's more than that. This is a cry for help that has been withheld all this time. But from whom? Jungkook or Taehyung? Since the broadcast stopped, social media has been flooded with the hashtags #ProtectJungkook, #Taehyung, and #HYBExplainThis. Even some of the army began to unpack old videos, looking for hidden clues of Jungkook and Taehyung's interactions. And the more it is found, the clearer it becomes that this is not a surprise that just appeared. This is a time bomb. And tonight, the bomb went off. Jungkook's words that made the most goosebumps was when he said, "If I'm the one to blame later, it's okay. But I hope someone will start telling the truth. Because I'm tired of pretending." Pretending about what? Is there something Hybe is hiding? Or something Taehyung did? Or is this all a form of Jungkook's frustration with unseen pressure? Is it possible that this is related to rumors that were circulating secretly last year about one of the members who wanted to take a break but was banned? And why, after all, did Hybe actually react with such anger? Who are they really protecting? Whatever Jungkook's intentions, one thing is certain. This was not a technical glitch. This is not a prank broadcast. This is not a gimmick. Jungkook's face was too serious, too emotional, honestly, he even lowered his head, wiped away his tears, and said softly, "I'm sorry, Tae, but I think you also know this can't be kept hidden." That sentence broke the hearts of millions of fans. What can no longer be hidden? Is it about Taehyung's decision to leave something behind? Or the truth about their relationship that has been too much speculation? Even more heart-wrenching was that, a few minutes after the broadcast was over, Taehyung's personal Instagram account suddenly went private. Is this an emotional reaction? Is there any pressure from outside? No one knows, no one can be sure. But one thing that is now the biggest and most controversial question is Jungkook and Taehyung's friendship that has been the center of BTS's strength not whole anymore. Is this the beginning of something greater? Division, betrayal, or liberation? Will Jungkook speak again? And the most awaited, Will Taehyung reply, explain, or just be silent 1,000 languages? And what makes it all the more emotional? None of the other BTS members gave a statement. RM, Jin, Jim, and Jae, Hope, Suga, they're all silent. As if they were not ready or were forbidden to speak. Some ARMY members even recalled an old moment when Taehyung and Jungkook had a small feud behind the stage, and Taehyung said, "There are things I can't talk to anyone about, not even the members themselves." Those words now sound like a warning from the past. Jungkook has opened a door that may never be closed again. Now the ARMY can only wonder, brooding in anxiety, fear, anger, and sadness. What is really going on behind the camera? What exactly happened 15 minutes ago that made Hybe mad, made Jungkook cry, and split the fandom, and the most suffocating? Will this all end with an apology? Or with a farewell? Time seemed to stop. Since Jungkook's live broadcast ended abruptly, the fandom world has been caught in a quandary that takes its breath away. What does he really want to convey? Why choose to do it now? And the most disturbing, is it a betrayal, a warning, or a defense? Emotions can no longer be held back. Armies around the world are spilling all forms of anxiety, anger, and grief on social media. In a matter of minutes, thousands of threads emerged, containing re-recordings of Jungkook's every move, intonation, eye expression, and breath as he called out Taehyung's name. "It's not about who's right or wrong," one fan wrote. "It's about someone who takes too long to contain a wound and eventually explodes." Is Jungkook accusing? Or are they defending? Or is it saving Taehyung from something the public doesn't know about? One thing that further makes this question lead to a deeper puzzle is Jungkook's cryptic sentence at the end of Live. "You promised you wouldn't shut up, didn't you? I started first." The sentence struck a chord. Is that a message for Taehyung? Has Taehyung been harboring something that even the other members don't know? And why, of all people, did Jungkook choose to speak first? Is this the plan for both of them? Or is it the despair of a friend who can't bear to see his friend continue to get hurt? A hint of the past that is now clearly via the now. The ARMY is starting to connect bits that used to be considered just a coincidence. The little moments that used to be overlooked because they were considered unimportant are now turning into puzzle pieces that hold great possibilities. That this all began a long time ago. Remember when Taehyung suddenly disappeared from a V-Live session a few months ago with the excuse of mental break. At that time, he looked tired, different, even in his empty gaze that was caught on camera backstage at an award show. Some fans called it a fake smile, but not many dared to speculate, as Hybe was quick to clarify, calling it just mild fatigue. But now, Jungkook's sentence tonight is like reopening all those old wounds. He added, "Even when he asked for time, they didn't love him. I saw for myself and I was silent." Who is they in question? And what did Taehyung ask for? One of the most powerful conjectures now leads to a leave request that the agency rejects. Some fans suspected that Taehyung had begged for a break due to mental pressure, but was not given the opportunity because a big project was brewing and Hybe did not want to lose Taehyung's figure as a visual mainstay. Jungkook knows that he witnessed that, and maybe all this time, he blamed himself for not being able to protect his best friend. It didn't take long after the live was over. Hybe released an official statement. But instead of defusing the situation, it adds fuel to an even bigger explosion. Their words were cold, too formal, too mechanical for this emotional situation. The statement delivered via broadcast does not comply with internal communication guidelines and is being evaluated by the management team. Evaluation? Communication guide? Is this just about a breach of procedure, or is there an even greater fear of the agency? A truth too risky if it comes to the public. Some ARMY believed that Hybe was afraid of one thing, the cracking of the illusion. All this time, the relationship between BTS members was sold as unshakable friendship, and indeed in reality, they are so close. But if there is another side that has been hidden, the dark side, wounds, pressure, differences of opinion, even internal conflicts, then the image they build can collapse. But isn't it human for them to feel tired? Has HYB been more concerned with the image than the emotional state of the artist? More suffocating questions are now emerging. Is HYB trying to cover up something much deeper than just live? Off protocol? ARMY reaction? Support or split? From the thousands of comments and reactions that have sprung up since the live, two big waves are now colliding with each other. The first is a wave of love and solidarity for Jungkook and Taehyung. The fans assume that this is a form of Jungkook's extraordinary courage for speaking the truth in a world full of censorship and control. The second, a wave of anxiety and fear. Not a few were worried that the live would be the cause of. In just a matter of hours after that shocking live broadcast, the world was no longer the same for the ARMY. Like opening a Pandora's box that has been tightly locked for years, one secret at a time begins to crawl out, demanding to be recognized, accepted, or otherwise rejected. But before we go any further, let's go back to an often forgotten time. To the silent times before they became a global symbol. To the starting point when friendship and pressure go hand in hand in silence. They were both teenagers when they first set foot in HYB's basement rehearsal room. It used to be big hit. Taehyung, Taegu's son, is spontaneous, passionate, and always has a smile for anyone. Jungkook, the golden magne, the child prodigy who was chosen from the beginning as the future of BTS. However, according to the confession of one of the former staff who had appeared in the podcast, which has now been suddenly removed from various platforms, there was an invisible tension between the two. Not because of mutual hatred, but because of systemic pressure. Jungkook was made a big star from the beginning, but he was still a kid. Taehyung is slower to stand out. And you know what? Many of them were forced to compete against each other before they even knew what competition was, he said. Could it be that the wounds from that time never heal? Could it be that Jungkook feels guilty for getting a spotlight that should have been shared? And is Taehyung harboring a pain he could never express in person? Some of ARMY's so-called fandom decoders, fans who dedicate their time to interpreting hidden messages, claim that since the last 2 years, there have been secret codes in the lyrics of their solo songs. Codes that were previously considered only artistic poetry now feel very relevant. Point one that is now viral again is the lyrics of Taehyung's inner child. We changed. I have become you, and you have become me. While in my time, Jungkook wrote, I can't call you, I can't hold you. Oh, I can't, and I miss you. Then on the live broadcast last night, Jungkook suddenly sang a piece of a song without musical accompaniment, a low voice full of emotion. We had a dream, but did it belong to us? That phrase is not in any song officially. I it unreleased lyrics, or a piece of his heart that he couldn't write anywhere else. One of the moderators of the Korean fan community, who claimed to have access to the members' personal letter archives during the promotion of Map of the Soul, recently revealed that one of Taehyung's handwritten letters was not released because it was considered too personal. In the fragment that was successfully reconstructed, it is written, sometimes I hold back everything, not because there's nothing I want to hear, but since I know not everyone is ready to hear me, even the closest people. The sentence is piercing. And now, as Jungkook speaks, with anger he doesn't hide, with hurt he doesn't hide, we begin to wonder, was Taehyung waiting for a moment like this? Is this a tacit agreement between them? Or is it? Jungkook acted knowing that Taehyung would never stand a chance if he remained silent. HYB's anger was no longer a guess. Several insiders known among industry fans have indicated that an in-depth evaluation of the behavior of certain members is underway. More than a formal narrative, this began to lead to an internal crisis. One of the informants called, "This is not about an ordinary offense. It's about someone dismantling a system that has been tightly locked from the public." Jungkook cut off official lines of communication. It scared everyone in the company. But what are they afraid of? Could it be that, behind all this, there is a huge project that is being prepared and could fail miserably if HYB's reputation collapses? Or is it? Jungkook's leaked secret is just one of many time bombs ready to explode. While Jungkook chose to speak, Taehyung chose to remain silent. There is no clarification. There are no ambiguous emojis in story. There was no "trust me" as he used to send when the situation got heated, and precisely because of that silence, many are now beginning to fear, is he being pressured?